Are you ready for spring? In this video, I want to show you how to make these two floral clipping cards inspired by lavender and snowdrop flowers. Let's start with the lavender design. I want to use this purple card, but I won't quill directly on it as it isn't sturdy enough. So I've cut out another small card from 300 GSM paper and I attach it like this after I'm done with the quilling. I'll make this card with 6mm white strips in 4 different shades of purple to bring an appealing contrast to the flowers. For this design, 130 GSM paper strips are perfect. Before you start quilling, you need to prepare your paper strips. Simply cut them into different lengths. And pay attention to this little detail. The strips with a darker shade should be longer than the lighter strips. After that, I start rolling the strips with my slotted quilling tool into a coil and let it open up just a little bit in my fingers. Then I pinch the coil gently. Make sure not to form teardrop shapes. They should be kind of flat diamond shapes. After I'm done with the shaping, I seal the end of the paper strip with just a little bit of glue. Here is a coil that I made with the shorter strips. Craft a lot of these coils in different sizes and shades as I did. Let's move on to the stems. I recommend using 300 GSM paper strips for them. Before you start quilling the strips, curl them completely with a needle tool. Then, cut them into equal pieces and glue 2 strips together to make them more sturdy. If you are using thinner strips, you can also glue 4 or more strips together. Prepare some of these stems before you go on with the next step. You also need some greenery. I'm simply making swirls out of 130 GSM strips. Try to roll the swirls with your fingers instead of a slotted quilling tool. This will make them more beautiful. Here are all the quilling elements you need to craft the lavender design. The stems, the greenery, the petals, and of course a thick cardboard. I'm starting with the first flower. Measure one stem and cut it to the right length. Then apply some glue and attach it in the center of the card. Apply just a tiny bit of glue onto the petals and place them on both sides of the stem. I recommend using tweezers at this point to keep your fingers and your quilling clean from glue. Attach the large petals to the bottom of the stem using the darker shades of purple. Sometimes you can also leave a little gap between the next petals and the previous ones as I do. This will result in a more realistic look. As you move towards to the top of the flower, make the petals smaller. Try to add some of the lighter shades when you reach the top. This contrast will create a more appealing look in the end. Here's the first quilling lavender flower. Dark petals at the bottom of the stem, a small gap, followed by different shades of purple and small petals at the top of the flower. You can follow this principle with the upcoming flowers. Just place the second stem next to the first flower and attach the petals along it. As you can see on my card, there is a lot of space, so I will complete this design by adding more flowers. My lavender flowers are complete, but I want to add some greenery to the design. I'm simply adding some small leftovers from the stems between the flowers. Then I add the swirls to the greenery. While experimenting with the swirls, I found out that they look much better when they are reaching out of the bouquet. As a final artistic touch, I'm adding purple paper strips to the corners of the card to decorate it. Don't use too much glue to attach them, and cut off the excess with a pair of scissors. After that, I can attach my quilling lavender card onto this purple card base, and the first quilling card design in this video is completed. If you find this card beautiful, you can show it by liking the video. I really appreciate your support. Let's go on with the next quilling card design, the snowdrop flowers. Like the lavender flowers, I will quill the design onto a thick cardboard and attach it to the blue cardboard base later. For the petals of the flower, I used 2 strips of 130 GSM paper and glued them together. As I will craft this flower in 2 layers, I have to use 3mm wide paper strips. When I glue them together, they will be the same size as the leaves, meaning 6mm in size. Start rolling the strips with a slotted quilling tool. Then remove it, unroll the strips, and start again rolling with your fingers. This process is necessary to avoid the center hole in the coil. Just roll the paper strip to the end and let it open up a little bit in your fingers. Seal the end of the paper strip with glue. Now you can squeeze it into a diamond shape. Make sure that the beginning of the coil stays in the center. Since this is a coil without a center hole, you need a lot of force to form this shape, but it will be worth it. Make 3 of these shapes for each flower. Then apply some glue on one side of the petal and attach them to each other. Don't connect the tips of the shapes to each other. There has to be a little gap. Then go on with the third petal and attach it on top of the previous ones. In the end, the flower should look like this. Now you need a short paper strip. Roll it into a coil, let it open up a little bit, and squeeze it totally. After that, seal it, and then you can form it into a tiny C shape using a quilling tool. Push the coil towards the tool and try to shape it. It should look like this in the end. Apply some glue and attach the petals to it, and the blossom is complete. Now let me show you how I made the leaves. You need 130 GSM green paper strips for them. As always, I recommend using 2 shades of green. Leave a little bit of space at the beginning of the paper strip and fold it. Then unfold it and apply some glue. After that, fold the paper strip back. The glue ensures that the strip stays in this position. Now leave a little bit of space and make another folding. Like before, unfold it, apply some glue, and fold it back. This completes one loop of the folding process. Repeat these steps for the next loops and enlarge the loop only on one side of the paper. The other side will always stay in the same position. While this technique is typically done on a quilling comb, I personally prefer folding the strips with my fingers. A crucial detail in this technique is always to glue the strip, so it stays in the formed shape. As the folded paper strip becomes larger, you can twist it a little bit to bring it into the shape you want. You can't twist the paper when you use this technique on a quilling comb. When the first paper strip ends, you can easily add an additional one by gluing it onto the folded strips. This prevents the overlapping of the paper. As you can see, I gave the leaf several twists to achieve this shape. The leaf on my right hand is made on a quilling comb. It has big gaps. That's why I prefer the folding technique in this design. In the next step, I will make the stems with 300 GSM paper strips. Similar to what I did with the lavender flower, I curl the strips before using them. Then, cut them into equal pieces. I will attach 3 strips to each other to get a sturdy stem. This time, I need to curl one end of the strip on the handle of my slotted cooling tool before I can glue the strips together. This will result in a smooth curve. Apply some glue onto the strip, attach another one on it, and curl the same end again. After that, attach another strip, but this time don't glue the strip to the curled end. These are the cooling elements you need to craft the snowdrop flower design. Leaves in different sizes and 2 shades of green, 3 stems, and 3 flowers. Before attaching the cooling elements onto the card, I place them on it and try to find an appealing design. I position the stems between the leaves and then arrange them. This can be a little bit tricky since you can't twist the leaves anymore. They become very sturdy due to the glue. After finding a design, I apply some glue onto the cooling elements and attach them to the card. Try to use just a little bit of glue so it won't be visible on the completed card. I also want to decorate the card with additional strips. This time I will add them to the top and bottom parts of the card. Cut off the excess paper, then apply some glue onto the card and attach it to the blue card base. I hope you learned something new in this video. If you can't get enough of quilling flowers and want to learn how to make this sunflower, you can watch the video right here. Just click on it. Thank you for watching and happy quilling!